Cultural Chaos. It's a day-long street festival and block party. It's coming to Easthampton. We're with Evelyn Snyder to tell us what we can expect next weekend, and we're going to make some pottery too. Is that right? So first of all, let's talk a little bit Cultural Chaos. It's an arts extravaganza coming up. Not this weekend, but next weekend.
It's a street festival, and I believe it's the first time that the city of Easthampton has ever closed part of the street for a festival.
So it's closed street block party. There's going to be music and food and art. Pretty much you name it, it'll be there.
Yeah, and it's all local. So that's the big draw, is that everything that's going to be happening is all local artists, local performers, local chefs. And you can come get your hands on things and take a look and see what's happening in Easthampton.
I think this is a really great time to check out Easthampton because I think sometimes it flies a little bit under the radar.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's one of those towns in Western Mass. It's so cool.
We're trying to get it on the radar screen, and we're hoping that this will help.
So one of the things that's going to be there is your pottery studio, and you're going to be demonstrating some wares, and today you're going to show us how to make some bowls.
Yes, and I'm actually going to be in two places because it's the weekend of open studios at One Cottage Street is Saturday, Sunday. The festival is just Saturday. We're going to be open, and I'm also going to be down in a tent out at the festival doing a little bit of demo so people can see what it is that we do in Easthampton when we're making things.
And if people want to buy local wares too, the tactile sense, being able to touch it is so much better than just clicking on things online.
Oh, it's really important. And the rest of the year you can buy my work at local galleries. Marley Stoddard has Nash Gallery. She carries my work. You find it in Northampton. But a couple times a year we open up our studios and you can come in and get an idea of how we do it. So I am going to show you. My process is a little bit different than most potters. I don't use a wheel very much. I make things from slabs. So I rolled this out. It's kind of the same process as making a pie. So this is a slab that was rolled out. I have a big, almost like a pasta maker machine. And this is my slab. And then I take a wooden form.
And then we cut to size.
And I'm going to cut it to size. So I have a little knife here. I try to keep the cut
and now people can go to most any like an art supply place and get the clay that they need if you want to do this at home with your kids.
This is local clay. It comes from Sheffield, Mass.
Very cool.
I get it at Sheffield Pottery. Now I've got a little bit of texture on here, so I'm using a regular clay tool. This is called a rib. Thank you. To clean it up, and then I have to smooth the edges, and this is just a regular chamois like you would use on your car. Or I hear people do that. I don't know.
You know, it's so funny too. A lot of these tools, these are specialty clay tools, but a lot of people can kind of DIY tool in their own home because a lot of people have things that are similar to this if they want to start making clay on their own.
All right, so now I got this little, what was a very rough piece of clay is now got smooth edges and it's got a smooth surface. And now the magic comes in my work. I call my work a garden for the table because I use real leaves. And this is a crane-spill geranium that I picked out of my yard. These are all kind of different kinds of leaves that I might use, except for the lilies of the valley.
Those are just for show.
Yeah, they're for show.
Yeah,
and
they look good.
My clay mentor always would have one tucked behind her ear when she was working.
No way.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a signature, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it smells good too in the right season. So I take the clay and take the leaf and I put it on the clay, and then using a tool, I roll it and I usually leave it flat on the table, but you probably can't see it as well. So from here, now I'm going to take this.
Okay.
Here, you can hold on to that for a minute.
Thank you.
Try not to distort the shape.
I won't. I'm going to be my best behavior.
This is one of my little trade secrets. My sister's a potter, and she learned this at a workshop. This is a piece of hardened clay that I took a tool and carved 3 little lines into. What I'm making here is a soap dish.
You mind if I show this off for the camera real quickly?
The soap dish will be like this.
So basically, the mold that you want to work out is more or less the inverse of what you want.
Exactly.
Because eventually we want to have this raised a little bit, so it looks something like this.
So it keeps the soap up off of the water.
All right.
So to do that, I've got an opposite, and I had to draw little lines on the back so I can see, because I like to play with the design. I'm always thinking about the way the different parts work together. Now I'm pushing on this, and I'm going to flip it over and push the parts in.
So this is making a soap dish.
This is making a soap dish. Everything I make is made kind of in this process. I mean, it varies a little. So then it gets flipped over into a form. Now that's what keeps it from turning into a potato chip.
And now how cool is this?
And from here, I do a surface color on it. So with my brush, I usually actually, when I'm in the studio, sorry, I got a little clay on you.
That's all right.
That's part of the fun.
Exactly, I like getting messy.
When I'm in the studio, I usually do this part with a spray gun, but for the sake of the cameras, I can, and also sometimes if I'm going to wood fire something, I will paint it on. So now, This has to sit until the slip, which is a liquid clay, dries. And I just happen to have one over here that I got ready earlier.
So this is what it turns into.
And then I have to pull the leaf back out. And so I sometimes have to use a dental tool to get it out of there. This one's going to come. And so this...
Oh, look at that. How nice is that?
No, I can't see what I'm doing.
It's beautiful. And the other thing, too, so we have the soap dish.
Yep.
Also easy to make with a similar process is this. Now describe, this is for garlic and ginger.
This is a garlic grater. All of my work is 100% functional. You can put it in the dishwasher, in the microwave. It's very durable. A lot of my customers use it as their everyday work, or as their everyday dinnerware. And this involves, in order to get the garlic grater, I made this little stamp. I actually used this tool and just poked it into the clay a few times and made this and turned it into a stamp. And so in order to get that, we push it in like here, and I usually kind of press it a little hard because you really need to get...
But it's a similar process.
Yep, very similar. And then this one gets slid into a form like this.
This is something that the kids can do, but it's also something that people can come to Cultural Chaos and see it happening.
Get your hands on it and buy it. That's
So
one of our things is that
shop
it's not
local, buy local.
Art is not just something to look at in a museum. You can actually own original handmade art from local people, and you're helping support our economy. So it's a win-win-win.
So it's not this weekend, but it's next weekend, and there's going to be music and dancing and food, so much.
June 14th is Cultural Chaos. June 14th and 15th is Open Studios at 1 Cottage Street. Come to Easthampton and check it out.
Everybody come on down. The dates are on your screen. Welcome back to Mass Appeal. We are still talking about Cultural Chaos, not this weekend, but next weekend. It's coming to Easthampton, and it is a block party of fun. Now we're joined by Alberto Lopez and Marlise Stoddard, two more people who are participating, and we're going to make some tamales. Is that right?
Mole negro tamales.
Mole negro tamales. Now your restaurant is La Casita Azteca, and you're one of the restaurants that's participating. So how does one make these tamales?
Okay, you use chicken breast or pork.
And you shred it up very nicely.
Yes. Corn flour, chicken consomme, and plantain leaves. And if you can buy maybe the mole is very complicated.
Yeah, mole is one of those things that you might want to just buy it in the store.
Yeah. Yes.
And lots of ingredients in the mole.
Use 3 hours maybe for the masa mole. It's very complicated. Okay?
Now, we're taking a look at the final dish. Now, how do we get it to this process? How do we combine everything together?
Yes. You use
this is the plantain.
The plantain leaves, corn flour.
Okay.
Butter.
Ah, yes. Nothing wrong with a little bit of butter.
Consomme.
Now, consomme, is that like chicken stock? Is that?
Yes. Oops.
Okay. That's okay. That's what mops are for.
Yes.
So we mix that all together.
Mix all.
And then
a little salt.
Okay, a little salt. And now from here we can add whatever meat we have, right? Whether it's chicken or pork, maybe even like a carne asada.
It's not very
not
good,
as good
with the beef.
Okay.
It's better with chicken or pork. Okay.
So, Marlene, tell me about some of the restaurants that are coming to Cultural Chaos.
So on June 14, Cultural Chaos will be featuring 9 local restaurants, all located on Cottage Street. There you'll be able to try Alberto's tamales. I believe he's preparing them for the festival. But we have, everyone's doing something special, the best of what they do. I think you'll be able to have cannolis from Nini's restaurant, and even our local pubs are featuring local microbrews in beer gardens. So,
and I know Easthampton recently has gotten a few new microbreweries.
Absolutely.
So things are really starting to pop in Easthampton. This is a great opportunity to experience all that the town has to offer.
Absolutely.
Now, I see we've wrapped the tamale. And now, how does one cook it once it's wrapped like that?
The mix is until smooth.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And now, do we put it in the oven? Do we put it in a pan?
Yes, and simmer for 1.5 hours.
And then when it's done, it looks something like this.
Yes.
And it looks amazing. So I noticed that you put the mole sauce, which we need to buy in the store. We put the mole sauce inside and then on top also?
Yes.
Perfect. So once again, it looks amazing.
I know.
I want to thank you, and I know that a lot of people out there are going to swing on by Easthampton and try your treats and everybody's delicacies. So once again, it's coming up not this weekend, but next weekend, and it's going to be a whole day of fun. It's going to be blocked off 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. There's going to be food, music, arts, and so much more. And once again, it's in downtown Easthampton.
That's correct.
Well, I want to thank the two of you for stopping by. There's going to be even more information about this event on our website, mymassappeal.com.